I know that when you guys wake up in the morning, the first thing you think to yourself is, hey, let's check Reddit politics just to see what's going on and see what opinion I should form today. And lucky for you, that's exactly what we're going to be doing in this video. Sometimes I'll do this for no good reason at all. I suppose it can be comic relief in a way, just to hop on Reddit and see what the current zeitgeist looks like. But on the other hand, it can be depressing. And if you are a certain type of person and you do this too much, you'll just eventually become part of the hive mind. So we are going to have a little fun today in the name of, like I said, comic relief and political theatrical drama. Our politics is a pretty good place to start if you don't have anything specific in mind and you just want to see what the correct opinion is. So let's just look at some of these posts and find one to dive into here. Most of them are going to be about Trump because about 70% of the posts on this subreddit and many subreddits have something to do with Trump, or the top comment will allude to Trump in some way, and it'll just be a circle jerk of Trump derangement. One about Hillary Clinton here. Not too surprising, but she's still in the talks, in the intellectual sphere. Clearly, okay. Okay, we got two Trump posts back to back. I got a third one right here. Libs of TikTok. All of these three, the comments are going to be the exact same thing because the comments are the exact same thing on every post related to Trump. But let's look at this one here. Perhaps Trump isn't the problem. Perhaps the problem is the 74 million that voted for him. So we can right off the bat here take a guess that this is just going to be one big generalization against the right, the GOP, the other half, whatever you want to call it. And it's just going to be ad hominem attacks on that group in this entire thread. But let's see, maybe not. Okay. It can be both, trust me. It can be both. So Trump is the problem and the people are the problem. Okay. Predictable top comment. There is no merit. There is no justification or explanation. They both parties are just stupid. That speaks for itself there. Yeah, these people are the same people that didn't want to end slavery. They didn't want minorities to have rights. Didn't want women to have rights. There we go. Okay, it starts right off the bat as expected. We went from maybe Trump's not the problem, maybe the people that voted for him are, right to, of course they are. They want slavery and they want to oppress minorities. Duh. No, man. You underestimate Trump's ability to coerce the idiots. That's the only way this can be explained. DeSantis tried doing it and fell flat. So this is the archetypal Republican progression. See, we're inside the minds of the Reddit denizens right now. So it helps paint a picture exactly of what people think. As absurd as it might seem, Reagan, Bush, Trump. That's what they want. That's the progression. That's the trend, the trajectory. There's a rot that starts at the root that's going to need to be taken care of before things start getting better. What do you think this person means by that? What do you guys think he means? Is there any benefit of the doubt that we can offer him here? No, I don't think so. I think it's pretty clear in this sort of Freudian signaling or whatever you want to call it, that's what these people really think and really desire at the end of the day. and they can layer it in as much ambiguity and moral superiority as they want. There's a rot that starts at the root that needs to be weeded out. What do you guys think that means? It's pretty clear what that means. It means the righties got to go. They got to go. We need a purge. I am open to a more charitable interpretation of this. This is pretty stark imagery. This person saying the same thing the top comment said. Trump's a problem. Righties are the problem. They're both the problem. But the press is the one who can't admit it. The press can't admit it. Dude, the press will say anything. What press are you watching? The press will say it all. I don't know what type of projection this is. But yeah, clearly it takes three to tango. The press and their complicity. Complicity is the issue. Not only is it Trump, not only is it half the American voters who are at the end of the day forced to make a binary decision. It's also the media, because the media and the press they're clearly in cahoots with the problem. That's amazing. Turns out when one of your country's two political parties prioritizes making people dumber, poorer, and angrier, it's easy, for a snake oil salesman to get ahead. So then we turn to this, okay? The gross generalization, the mass generalization, and we're talking about half of the country here, and we're ignoring any nuance or intricacy that might go into a decision that one might make, a binary decision that one might make in a complex political election. No grace, no benefit of the doubt is offered. It's clearly an issue of one party seeking to make folks dumber, poorer, and angrier. And this, it might be charitable to say that this is an ad hom, because this very well might be the genuine underlying feeling and belief of these people, that you can generalize half of the country in such a way. And as we said earlier, every comment we see is a variation of this sentiment right here. And we can keep going, but it's going to be, this guy figured it out 8 years ago. Well done, Brandon. Well done. Okay, well, we can't stop now. 1/3 of America needs cult deprogramming. That they don't feel they require, and thus will never seek. Call me skeptical of this statement right here, but isn't the, not to generalize myself, but isn't the group of people insistent that there is no sort of underlying, I hate to use the word indoctrination, but I fail to find a better word in this instance, the underlying indoctrination that they so vehemently deny is occurring in regards to both academia and the lower elementary school system, public school system, as well as many other facets of bureaucracy. Isn't this the exact point that they are trying to get away from? That, oh no, we're not trying to project our views onto you and your children and your cities and your no, we would never do that. No, but a third of you guys do need cult deprogramming, and you're not going to seek it out, so we're going to force you to get it. What? Perhaps an exaggeration, but I don't know if this is too far from the sentiment of most people here. That's actually an incredible thing to say and be near the top in a thread like this. Okay, we're just going to keep going with the ad homs. Half, like I've been saying, and as equally clearly expressed, half of the country is are uneducated racist hillbillies. That is, well, we don't even need to conject anymore. Clearly, the pattern is evident, and these are the this is the collective opinion. And we're going to racist carnival barker, fascist. It's both clearly. There is no, there's going to be no opposing contrarian voice to be found within any of this. Okay, let's keep it rolling. Here's the insightful conclusion that maybe the problem is generations of undiagnosed mental issues. And the follow up clearly is yes, that's the case, that right wing thinking in general is just a manifestation of untreated mental illness. And in the context of this thread, that wouldn't even be, that wouldn't even look like an absurd thing to say, because it's in complete alignment with the rest of the sentiment we're seeing. But if you just think about this in a standalone context, whatever, half the party, even a third, is right wing, or so to speak, and can be vaguely described as so. And your conclusion that the disagreements you have with them, or whatever perception you have of their beliefs and ideologies, is just straight up attributed to untreated mental illness on the right. It's very hard to understate the comical hypocrisy of this coming from a party, or if we're gonna homogeneously group the country in terms of binary 1-2 red blue, then I'll do the same in response. It's like, okay, this is coming from someone whose side is romanticizing mental illness to the point of, frankly, statistical delusion, and nearing the end of the rabbit hole, which, in honesty, is that delusion resulting in serious permanent decisions, not even to those around you, but to oneself, as an internalization of said treated mental illness. And the example I'm thinking of, obviously, is a genital mutilation surgery. It's very hard for me to get over the first world rationalization for why that would ever be an acceptable, ideal course of action for any circumstance. And we won't go down that path necessarily, but we'll look at a few more, and then another insightful take. Trump is not the disease. He is the late stage symptom of a disease that is killing its host, the GOP. So everything can be attributed to, it's all ghost hunting. It's a constant deference to ambiguous attribution. It's okay, well, the GOP is the reason all of this. GOP is the seat of Trump. GOP is the manifestation of the voters, which results in the product of Trump. Whatever you want to describe it, despite that's completely separate and removed from an actual understanding of Trump's rise in spite of the GOP. There's no, as Machiavelli would call it, a realpolitik understanding of anything in this corner of the internet. It doesn't exist. And you know what? All of these things, deplorables, we said it We said it, called that. I knew there was going to be a deplorables comment. Maybe I didn't even say that out loud, but I knew there was going to be. All this stuff can be very, very closely, if not in exact parallel, tied to Sowell's vision of the anointed, as he would call it. And anointed's it's a heavy word, but man, it most accurately conveys the status, the perceived status and uh, superiority that this group self possesses. His general idea is this: that there's, in terms of binary classification, one political phenomenon can be described in terms of the anointed and the benighted, and pretty philosophical traditional terms or whatever you want to say. But like I said, they're pretty accurately labeled terms. And the anointed has the complex, so to speak, of the correct moral position, otherwise the actual claim to truth. And in this is this can be seen throughout many institutions or religions, etc. It's not limited to the left in the West as it currently stands. But like I said, this is a phenomenon that Sowell's referring to, not necessarily exclusive to this current situation. These anointed, their claim to the truth, moral truth, or objective truth, whatever that may be, it gives them the justification. It gives them the cause and the ability or the ambition to make these claims and to project their ideas in this way. And the only way it pervades is because of that mentality that, okay, this grasp I have on the truth is correct, and I am so surely confident in my correctedness of my position that at any means necessary, we will coerce it and actualize it onto the rest of you. And it doesn't matter what you think, because you think incorrectly and you don't have the faculties nor the right to make such a claim to truth as I. And that way of thinking becomes a very vicious, self-fulfilling prophecy, which, if you spend some time thinking about it, would be easier to fall into than one might imagine, or one might hope to imagine, because it happens all the time. And it pretty accurately describes the state of many, many people on the left, and the way that they think and the way that they perceive things. So perhaps my next video will be on Sowell's book, and his vision of the anointed. But this was a pretty good tangent to maybe get some people on board, maybe get some people riled up and interested in what the non-dominant voice on Reddit. Because I don't know about you guys, but it can get pretty. I don't spend too much time, but I definitely spend more time than I should, listening and reading the words of people who are unimaginably, definitely a mess of chaotic projection and insecurity. And that's also a generalization, but I think that's what Reddit is in large part. There's useful parts, there's useful subreddits, and there's people out there who actually want to share useful information and help others. But on our politics, no. So, all right, guys, just subscribe and wait for more.